Gentleman yields. I now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Garbarino, for his 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to witnesses for being here today. You know, I've heard a lot of the statements coming from my colleagues, and they're acting like we've come here on a whim. We're not here on a whim. This is, you know, we haven't come here lightly, this hearing today. There have been problems at the border for years, and now every state in the nation is seeing those effects negatively. I just look at my own state in New York and the costs of dealing with the crisis at the border. And we have been begging the administration to do something for years. Nothing has been done. We're not here on a whim. Something has to be done. So that's why we are here where we are. If leadership can't follow the laws of the land, follow the laws of the land. It's not just policy. There's laws. There are laws on the books, and they are being ignored right now by the current administration and the current secretary. If they can't follow the laws that are on the books, we need to find someone who will. So I think we have taken the time and necessary steps to arrive here in a proper manner. It's taken a while, and our country has been at disservice because of that. It's taken so long. But we're here today, and I appreciate you all being here. And I'm going to start with Mr. Attorney General Drummond. You've described Oklahoma's challenge with the explosion of unlicensed and illicit drug manufacturing in the state following Secretary Mayorkas becoming the leader of Homeland Security. Can you describe more about the challenges of Oklahoma law enforcement faces in confronting this illegal activity, especially for rural police and sheriff's departments who have limited resources?
Let me give you a tangible example, Representative. One recent drug bust at an illegal grow operation, our agents were processing those who were committed felonies and detained, and those that were simply being trafficked in labor and sex. And one of those was identified as an individual on an HSI detainer for illegal entry. He was supposed to be in Flushing, New York. He was supposed to have on an ankle monitor. When we contacted the field representative in HSI, they said, you know, charge him with a felony, we'll come pick him up. But he, in fact, had not committed a felony. Then we were instructed to say, please direct him to turn himself in to the nearest HSI field office. And so we did that and let him go. That happens day in and day out across Oklahoma, where we don't have the resources afforded to detain those that we know are illegally in the state, committing crimes or complicit in the committing of crimes.
You would like to hope. In New York, we have laws that actually direct that they automatically be released, and we see crime after crime after crime be committed by the same person. And in New York, big state like New York, you think we'd have the ability, we do have the ability to keep people in prison and stop crimes from happening. Our laws direct us not to, but at least in Oklahoma, you would like to be able to make sure that these criminals are not released back out.
Now New York has one fewer. We haven't.
Good. Another crisis, Mr. Attorney General, that has resulted from the unprecedented chaos at the southwest southern border is the explosion of fentanyl poisonings in this country. We have seen many, far too many, in New York. From 2018 to 2022, Oklahoma experienced a 735% increase in fentanyl deaths, according to the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics. Oklahoma has a unique status, sitting just north of the Texas and right along major routes away from the southwest border for both drug and human smuggling. Can you talk about how the fentanyl crisis over the past few years has impacted your state?
So we, with the legalization of marijuana in Oklahoma, it's not become the drug of choice to cross the border. Fentanyl is now the drug of choice. And I take exception with the representative who said it is just to say no. It is a crisis in which we find fentanyl laced in many drugs, such that we instruct our young children to test every pill. If you think you're taking a pain pill, it's probably laced with fentanyl. And we can trace those back to the porous border through which the fentanyl product comes in concert with the Mexican cartels and the Chinese syndicated organizations.
This is for any of the attorney generals. We get a lot of unaccompanied alien children in New York. Have you witnessed in your state these children being used for purposes of sex trafficking or other forms of exploitation. Anyone can jump in and grab it.
I will jump in quickly with an example. We busted a grow in northwest Oklahoma City, and in which there were 2 minor young women from China that were being sex trafficked. And we've intercepted communication in mainland China where they're effectively posting jobs to come to Oklahoma, quote, as massage spa, quote, able to endure hardships, quote, good hygiene. And yet these young women are being exploited, and we don't have a remedy to take care of them.
And quickly, I know.
Missouri now ranks 4th on the list of the states with the highest rates of human trafficking. In 2021, there were 1,100 reported cases, detected cases of human trafficking in the state of Missouri, 327 victims identified.
Congressman, human trafficking has increased in my state multiple 100% since 2019. I think that answers your question.
Yield back.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize the gentleman from Rhode Island, Mr. Magazine.